Okay. Winning generation, you are it. That was it, guys. We're finished for today. Just just kidding. We're meeting today to have a channeling session with Roger Burnley. Roger is going live, channeling Wilhelm. And I invite you all to be open-minded, to receive the wisdom that comes through, and to not judge. Just try it. Just pretend that you just arrived here, no present, no future, no agendas, just like a child. Let's see what happens. And yeah, I'm grateful to be here. Roger, you can go after we just take all together one deep breath into the belly, into the chest, as deep as we can. Hold it for one moment. And let it go, allowing Wilhelm to come in and enjoying the space.
Thank you so much. And we are ready to begin. And as we see each time we meet you, we have waited for you your entire lives. But today you will really understand why, because you decided to be here on your powerful eclipse. That was not accidental. None of you are here accidentally. And we said that it was always your fear. What we mean by that, you're moving through a really dynamic time in your life and in your world, but that was purposeful as well. That means that you had something within you that you meant to bring to your planet at this time to help it evolve or move through this restructuring, as we have called it. Now, you may view things in your life or that in your world and think things have gone wrong. And we're saying that never occurred. You're just being guided to become your best self, guided to the highest version of who you could become. And it keeps being revealed to you. And we revealed more through our messenger today. We told him we gave you a curriculum so that you would know where you were moving to, and so that you wouldn't become distracted by the events of your life or what you're witnessing in your world. You each come to the world at a particular time because you have an evolutionary journey that you're on, and it agrees with the movements of your world. Now, you might have been questioning things recently as to why things seem so chaotic, why they seemed a little out of place. That was so that you could awaken to the brilliance that is within you. And you cannot compare yourself to anyone else because you each have very unique, valuable journeys that you're on, and you meant to bring them to the world at this time. Now, again, we said that so much of it would be centered in the United States, and that's what you're witnessing and feeling now, but that's purposeful because you can't change anything within yourselves or your world that you are unwilling to see, that you're unwilling to look at. This is why you do your shadow work, that you go inside, and sometimes it'll just kick you in your butt. And that's how it's felt for our messenger for the longest time. But that's for all of you, because now you'll awaken to the brilliance that is within you. And we're saying this because we had him put up something that you will each see. It's a trajectory that you're on, and it's connected to times before. You don't come into the earth plane with an empty consciousness. You keep developing it. That's individually and collectively, and that's what you're doing now. So we showed him that we gave him information in September that was connected to this time in your world because there was a trilogy of planets and connections, and they're coming to now to move you to that higher state of being. And the message that we gave you today was, it is always your fear. Now, what we mean by that is that for you to evolve, you have to become willing to move into the unknown of who you are, unknown of who you could become. And that always seems a little bit big or more than you can imagine, but we're saying it's purposeful and you each have it. The one thing we don't want you to do is to judge yourself or others. That would be the thing that would hold you back, that holds all of you back. At this time, you're going to see the contrast that comes up, which we've called your others, meaning everyone that you don't agree with, that you might be tempted to judge. But we're saying you also had those things in your history somewhere, because as we have always said, you are eternal spiritual beings, meaning you've always existed, because that's in consciousness. You just decide when you're going to change that consciousness, how much you're going to accept, and how willing you become to shine, to become brilliant. And it is a continual process process, that you're all here doing it. But we're so thrilled that you decided to do it today. See, because the collective energy that you could put through will be exponential for everyone and for your planet. This is what is occurring. Now, we're not sure if we have questions, but if they do come through, we would love to answer them.
Yeah, Anja, do you want to read the first one?
I can. So, Willem, how do we effectively send love to the Middle East while focusing on what we want? Peace and love for all.
You start with yourself. You have no idea how powerful you are. And sometimes you think you're being selfish if you do that. And we're saying that's the best thing that you could do is decide to love yourself. Energy doesn't stop at one place. And we've often said that if more of you would get together and just vibrate the energy of love for yourself, that would go there. That would start to move to that area. We told you the same thing when the war began with when in Ukraine, which said the same thing. It's all the same. It's all energy, and you're a global community. So we don't want you to think that you have to go somewhere to do it, because the love that you could emit is always within you, and you keep uncovering it. Now, as humans, you will go through different phases in your life and then also your collective journey. So it seems like it's a little disruptive. But again, when you come to that understanding of your oneness with all others, you can see that the deciding to love yourself will permeate all atmospheres and go to there. So that's what we're, thank you so much for that question, because some of you are feeling helpless. And the greatest help that you could give is deciding to do what you came to the earth plane to do, and to love yourself while you're doing it, and to forgive yourself at the same time, because that will also go to all others. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So we have another one. How to use assumption and assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled for our personal lives.
That was it. Assume it. That was exactly it. You're so brilliant. So, see, that's an energy again. That's embodiment. And you move through phases where you must embody the new you have become. And you're always becoming new in each every moment of now. But it doesn't do you much good if you're not accepting it, if you're not becoming willing to embrace it. So, you asked that question because you are so aware, and we're so grateful because now you've helped so many others, because many of you will come to awarenesses like that, but you're afraid to like talk about it or to mention it, because you don't want to be judged. You don't want others to think maybe you're a little out of your mind by even having these thoughts. And we're saying we want more of you to have exactly those thoughts and to embrace who you have become, because you're always becoming something more, and you've done it and you're aware of it. You're going to help so many others by asking that question. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do you have any tips to assist us in overcoming the programming that blocks us from loving ourselves? It should be easy, but there is resistance in the mind.
You're all so brilliant. You see, you just did it. See, we do this because what we want to see is your brilliance come out that you don't even know you're having. And that was exactly it. First is the awareness that you have been programmed. You're always programmed throughout lifetimes. So you're always moving through it. But not all of you will come to that awareness, but you did. And you asked that question. Now, because you asked that question, we want you to take on something else, because you're meant to exemplify that and give it to others, and become willing to become the spiritual warrior, as we like to say, by acknowledging that, because it's within you. You've been feeling it. And you also, we just want to say this, you've been feeling a little grief and a little helplessness because of this awareness that you have. And you haven't owned it fully. Now is the time, and especially on this date, because you have the energy of this blood moon eclipse that you're moving through. You have the energy to infuse it with that awareness and knowledge that you have, and now you'll be so much more courageous about giving it and being willing to speak about it to others. Thank you.
Anja, do you want to continue with that one?
Yes, of course. Why do so many spiritual people struggle with prosperity, and how do we shift to full abundance?
You're doing it right now. We've told you. You're here. This is the shift that's happening. We had our messenger put down just a few days ago. If you see the message, we said abundance is ahead. You each chose this period in your world to come through, and you weren't accepting all the money, you weren't accepting all the cash because you weren't about that, many of you. But now is the time that you're meant to shift it, which we've advised our messenger to do because he's put himself away in terms of the financial things, but now it's time to change it. Now, we want you to understand you will always go through periods in your world, and if you look at your history, you will see this, where there's great shifts in the power, and the power is forms in different ways. It's always energy, but you will then manifest it in different ways, and usually it's money or material things. Those material things you never take with you, you see, but you do use them while you're on the physical plane to cause yourself to become more so that you can get your message out, so that you can sustain yourself. So we want you to begin to embrace the energy of abundance. That's where it comes from. And this is why so many spiritual people, as you said, as you uh, rightly pointed out, have not done that. But it's about the timing, you see. There's a timing in your universe of the galaxies and the planets that are changing at this time, where now it's much more conducive for you to become willing to say, I deserve abundance and wealth because I am valuable. You keep coming to that value, and then you embrace it, and then the money starts showing up, and that's what's going to happen. We've told you, because you're moving into a different realm. And this eclipse was exactly the point. You're at a reset point right now. That's why it's going to turn around. So we're so thrilled and we're so happy again that you acknowledge that, because so many of you who say you're spiritual do not acknowledge the fact that you have allowed yourselves to not prosper in that way. But you understand it was the timing, and now is that timing that is changing. So thank you for that awareness.
Yeah, please go. I have something to add. Please go deeper into what prosperity actually is and what it means to prosper.
It means embodying who you can become. And that's going to be
Hmm.
in any form. It doesn't matter what it is. You each, as humans, you will sometimes put it into the material things because, again, you have to operate on the physical plane. But it's all energy, you see. And you each come in with limited awareness of who you could be. So you're always moving through those limitations. You just do it in different ways. You give it labels, and all. But at this time, we have said, this is purposeful this time on your world because there's been such an imbalance in your world for eons, as we've said. You might think of it as centuries, but we're going back further than that. And that imbalance has been, you didn't give enough to others. You didn't allow enough others to have what they could. And so now you're here to shift that trajectory. You're here to shift it by embodying what you could have and to not become embarrassed about wanting more. See, because more just means that it's energy that you're allowing yourself to embody. Now, we mean embody because you don't get there right away. You do it a bit at a time. You do it every day, every moment. But then the awareness that you so rightly pointed out, there's blockages in programming that told you couldn't have it. Much of it's generational. You're experiencing so much of that at this time in your world, you see. That generational feeling of I'm not enough, I'm inadequate, none of that matters. You're shifting it now, and this is the perfect time for all of you to do it. And if it comes out that you're going to have much more money, please embrace it, because that's what you're meant to have at this time. And if you will see our message a while ago, we put it up early. We always do that. We said abundance is ahead for all of you, especially if you're listening to us and on this, because you're never in an accidental place. So if you're listening to us, you're one of the ones who are meant to become into that abundance now. Thank you.
Yeah, we have one question if we're able to ask questions today. Yes, you are. So you feel free to share your questions in the chat box. We are grateful for all that you're here. There are some amazing names in it. Rachel Hybrid is something that just is very present for me right now. What is a hybrid, Wilhelm?
That's when you hybrid is just an aberration of of your archetype. That's all. And so you all have it in different ways. And so when you think of your cars, you have some that are, a hybrid. You think, I'm going on energy, this gasoline stuff, and then on pure electricity. So that's a hybrid. You have it within yourselves. You just call when you
Hmm.
get different labels, but you're always in that state because you're never complete. You're always moving to full or more acceptance of who you could become. That is your ascension process, individually and collectively. And that's what your planet is moving through right now.
Awesome. I think I'm not sure I've seen those questions above. I'm just skipping a few that other people can ask some questions too. The next one that I would like to give you, Wilhelm, is how do we embody the energy and emotion of unconditional love? I feel that so much of the information and persuasion from mass media leave us with feeling numb to avoid feeling the constant pain.
That's why thank you so much. That's why you're here. You see, your awareness is seeing that. Your awareness is knowing that. And so we said your truth is always correct. Now, that is for each of you, but there's a greater truth, what we call ultimate reality, which you all know and could be a part of, but not all of you will move to that place. And this is what you're witnessing in your world. So because you became aware of it, that's part of your mission or your role, as we like to say it, or your job, because we know that it's your job because you would never have seen that. You would have never noticed it, but we do feel that you're so frustrated by it. But we want you to shift that. We want you to notice that when you're seeing it, it is a signal to you that you're going to love yourself more, that you're going to offer that to others because you know that they're being fooled. Because that's how it feels to you. They're being told something that isn't true, and you know this. But we don't want you to judge others who are giving them that information. We just want you to find that highest place of truth within you and then start giving it to them and start being willing to share it, not in a judgmental way or anything like that. It's just the embodiment of it and the living of it. And that's what you're going to do because that's why you're here. So now you're granted permission to become that brilliant self that you know is there, that you've been not willing to fully embrace, but now you will because we just helped you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going a few questions back, and there was someone asking if Wilhelm is your higher self or, yeah, if Wilhelm is your higher self. Wait, where's the entire question? Anyway, just answer that question for us real quick.
Yes, it's a higher self of our being, Roger, but it's a higher self of all of you. We've always said we are collective consciousness. There's no distinctions. And so our messenger just accessed it. That was his role in this time. But what we have brought through, which is why many of you say that it feels like we are speaking directly to you. We are, because you're all connected to that ultimate, that collective consciousness, which is a much higher place, which we also call ultimate reality, which is where you all live, and that's that eternal spiritual place. And so more of you are coming to that awareness now.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, because is Wilhelm Roger's higher self, or is our higher self always communicating with us? Was the second part of the question.
Yes.
Which is also what you've just basically already said.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Yeah,
higher
okay.
self is always your higher self is always communicating with you, all of you. Now you will not you do what our messenger might do. You just pretend you don't hear it at times, but when you become quiet and listen, you'll hear it and you know it. And we said, and then we gave you something else because we don't want you to judge yourself because we gave this to our messenger for all of you. You begin to hear faster. That's what we mean by that. That's not the usual way you think of your senses, but when you become willing to embrace that you have the communication, you'll access it much easier. You'll access it quicker. But it is again a process that you each will do it different ways. Now we call it infinite intelligence. So we want you to think of that because this is the message that we gave you in the beginning of this work in 2012, because of we knowing that you all would be moving through this time in your world. We said infinite intelligence is available to all of you, but you will just accept as much as you are willing to embrace, and you'll do it at different times, individually and then collectively. And this is why we've mentioned 2012, because that was another shift in the collective consciousness. And now you're doing a really great one at this time in your world, because 2026 is the takeoff place now. That's where you are. And this eclipse is giving more of you that permission to take off. So we're so grateful that you're here.
Awesome. I like it. Anja is moving some energies for us, so thank you for that. It's important to keep it moving. All right. So, it's Hmm. Oh, wow. What does Wilhelm advise when it comes to taking medicines like mushrooms and marijuana for the purpose of opening the mind and tapping into more creativity?
First of all, we want okay. We're so glad that you asked that question because we don't want you to have any judgment about it. Because many of you will have judgment when you find yourself taking those things because parts of you think that, well, I don't need to do this, but the other part knows I know that it's helping me. So that becomes you're on different places in your evolutionary journey. And from the beginning of time, the ancient folks used different medicines like that to open up consciousness because as you're living in physical form, you get distracted with this 3D plane with where you are. And so it becomes challenging for you to break out of that matrix, so to speak, to see something more. But then you may come to the places what happened for our messenger where you don't need it, where you realize that you've accessed that higher place of consciousness and you can stay there a bit more and you may not need that. But again, if you find that you get stuck because it always you always get stuck somewhere, but if you find yourself in that place and feeling like you need to do that, don't hold any judgment about it. Just be aware of why you're doing it. The awareness is much more important. You know that my consciousness could expand more and I'm not doing it, so I'm going to use this now and I'm not going to judge myself. But then I'll reach this place where I may not need that because I've become practiced enough at staying in that higher place and that feels so much more fun and maybe I'll do that. But whatever it is, we don't want you to hold the judgment. We want you to love yourself and just keep going.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So Anja and I have some experiences with sacred medicine as well. If anyone has some questions, our links are in the chat. Just reach out. So psychedelics is a very interesting topic. May I get clarity on my service to humanity, please?
you're you're doing it.
So this was a question, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, no, we're, we're going to start right there because this is going to be so shocking to all of you. Your service to humanity is your existence. Your being on the planet is your service. Now, it'll come about in different ways, but if you could just accept that basic fact that your birth was when you came into the world to offer your service. Your life experience is that service. Everything you live, everything you move through, everything you think you messed up, whatever it is, it's part of your service because you each come into the earth plane to have a physical life experience, which we call your adventure, you see, and it's going to take different turns. It's going to, and you're going to judge some of it. You're going to be happy with some parts of it, and you're going to think some of it went wrong. Nothing ever goes wrong. You're always on your individual evolutionary path, learning, gaining more awareness so that you can evolve and then help others do the same thing through your experiences. That is each of you. But what gets in the way is your judgments about what's occurring, your judgments of what you did or didn't do, or all of that. So the more that you can love yourself and practice forgiveness every single day at every moment, then you get to that higher place and then you will know that you are performing your service.
So there are like more and more questions coming in. I'd like for you guys who have more than one question to just maybe dive really deep into yourself and ask what your heart wants to bring right now. Not just asking questions for the sake of getting us into any direction or anything like that, but really heart's desires. Like, let's go deep. Like, let's go deep together. We're not here to go over the surface. We want to have deep questions. We want to go really, really deep in all of what we do so we can be fully embodied. Wilhelm, tell us a little bit about that.
You just brought up the thing that's so uncomfortable for most humans. So we're so glad that you couched it in that way, that you said it in that way, because many of you don't want to look at yourselves. You don't want to go inside and examine those things. So you kind of like will find distractions and go everywhere else. But again, no judgment. That is part of your process. What we would love for each of you to do is follow what we gave you called your story. Your story is unique and valuable because no other soul shares precisely your story. And it holds the utmost value for you because of your experiences. Now and then we also said any aspect of your particular story that you attempt to judge, dismiss, or ignore will cause you to have some difficulties because you're unwilling to receive the information and wisdom that your story holds. And we mean that for every
Mm-hmm.
single person.
So true. Everyone has that. And once we own our story, we start embodying and really channeling what wants to be channeled. It's just authenticity, is it? Oh, nice. There we all take a breath. I like that. So there's one more that I definitely would like to bring about. I am shifting through many timelines in the physical, and I go back to my center to stabilize.
Mhm.
How do we stabilize in a timeline while expanding and anchoring? Wonderful one. Thank you.
But you're doing it.
Love that.
You're doing just what you said, and we're so glad that you brought that up because many of you will think that you're supposed to get to a certain place and you stay there. That never occurs in human experience. You will come to a certain place, then you'll fall back and you think maybe I failed, maybe I screwed up. You did not. You were just embodying that aspect or that level that you reached, and so you'll continually do that, and that's the beauty of it. And when you can accept it and understand that is the process, you see, because it's impossible for you to go back. It's impossible for you to unlearn something. It doesn't happen. You may block yourself off from that information at times, but it's within you. And so, but there's a physical process because you're in physical bodies where you must embody. That's the integration period that comes about. And so you may judge it at different times and thinking that you've fallen off the horse, so to speak, but you didn't. You're just allowing yourself to embrace and integrate that new aspect of you, what you've become, because you're always in the process of becoming. So that was a great one. Thank you so much for that.
Mm-hmm. And there's actually something now coming. I skipped just one. I may go back to this, Rachel. We're just talking about the light buddies, and I personally I love having those conversations, so feel free to reach out in any way, Gabriel, as I feel my body is shifting into the light body and really becoming lighter. And the
Mhm.
question is, could you talk more about our light bodies being
Yeah.
and Doman DNA being activated at this time?
Yes, that's thank you so much. You see, many of you will hide things away, and then your brilliance comes out at just the right time, and this is the right time. We gave our messenger a message many years ago, which he completely forgot. He said, "Yes, we did tell you. We gave him a message about ascension," and he goes, "Oh, what is that? What does that mean?" We said, "You become willing to drop the weight." Now, what we mean is the weight of who you used to be, the weight of what you thought you could be or couldn't be, or what you did, and all that, and you keep doing it. And so it's a continual process that you do individually and collectively. Your humanity, humankind is doing that at this time. But you have to become willing to let go of the old, you see. And sometimes that becomes uncomfortable for so many of you because you will reach a certain place in your lives where you feel comfortable. This is the place I'm supposed to stay. And then you get stuck there sometimes because the unknown is the place that you don't know, that you don't understand what that's going to be. And so you could have developed a lot of fear. And so we have you think about something else. We gave you the idea of kicking and screaming. We said, think about a baby when they're born and they come out of the womb. And the first thing you do is you smack them, and then they wake up, and then they start kicking and screaming because now they're in this unfamiliar place. You do that all the time in your lives. You see the different levels, and that as you go move to that next level, you may exhibit what we call that kicking and screaming. But then just understand that's part of your birth process. You are birthing a new world right now, and each of you are birthing new lives to be able to accomplish that. So that was a brilliant question again, and you are so aware. So that is your ascension process, and that is the ascension process that your Earth, your planet, is moving through currently.
Yeah, I think he kept going with this question, but I think we may discuss this question after we've been finished with you, Wilhelm,
Mhm.
because he just asked, what does it look like physically and spiritually? But it's something that I always would like to talk about as well, and I think Anja has something to say to this as well. So we may keep this question for later and move on. Rachel said also, I release all judgment to myself and on my life journey. I will work on this every day. I really appreciate you all. Just share your heart, Wilhelm. Just go
We
for
say
it.
we love that so much. but you won't always do that. We love your intention and we're so grateful that you said that. But just understand that part of the process is going to be, oh, I'm not doing that right now at this moment. Oh, I didn't do that yesterday. But the intention that you set is brilliant. And the more you can remember that, it will become embodied. But we're giving you the other aspect of it because we don't want you to judge yourself when you find, oh, not at that place again. I didn't do it. But that's just part of the process. But you brilliantly said that, and just please keep embodying it every single day. That was wonderful. Yes, you're absolutely correct in what you're up to in this lifetime.
Yeah, she kept going, and this is something that happened to me quite frequently, that I feel like I'm just not being seen because I'm so light. She kept going with, when I was very small, I was hiding from my mother for a bit of fun. I'm absolutely sure that I became invisible. Can you ask if this is true, please? Because my mother couldn't see me.
Yes, no, that was purposeful. That's why you placed her there, you see, so that you would be able to see. There's always an orchestration with all of you, and even with your who you come into, who you interact with on the earth plane. And there's never a reason that there's never something that's occurring in your experience that doesn't hold meaning and purpose. So when you were feeling invisible at those times, it was so you could become visible now. You wouldn't know what it would feel like to become visible and accepted and seen if you had experienced the other aspect of that. So we just want you to become grateful for that experience. And we're saying that because many of you will look back at those past experiences, especially in your younger days, in your younger lives, and begin to judge them and think that that was terrible and that shouldn't have happened. We're saying no. That was part of your journey and it was purposeful. And now you're finding the meaning of it. You always find the meaning of everything that you have experienced, every situation, every circumstance that you've moved through. But you just have to be willing to change your perspective, you see, to be able to allow that wisdom to come through. And so you just opened up that whole orchestration. That whole period for your life now, that you're going to continually receive more information about why that particular situation existed in your life, and that is going to come through as wisdom for you, and you're going to spread that to the world. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And then, is there a spiritual significance to numbers? Why do I keep seeing the number 26 all day, every day?
Because that's implanted in your particular life path. There's significance in everything. Everything is energy. Numbers hold an energy, and you keep passing it along in different ways. There's certain numbers that have collectively a particular kind of energy that comes together. However, and sometimes there will be the consecutive numbers or repeating numbers and all of that. But for you have to have 26, that's different, you see. So there is a combination there that is unique to you. And so we want you to embrace that. We want you, first of all, you must investigate it. You can look up what those numbers mean, because you're going to find this. This is going to be so brilliant. You should come back and tell us what happens. Because when you start looking up the significance of each of those numbers and finding that and keep looking at it and studying it and go, well, why am I having those two? You're going to find that combination, because that's a unique combination that is directly meant for you to see, and your higher self is giving it to you. And it's going to open up more awareness now as you do this investigation. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Always look at what the numbers mean. Numbers have a positive and a negative. Find the balance and go with it. So yeah, I saw a great big white orb flying through a tree a couple of weeks ago. I know I am on track. Oh, you're awesome.
Yes, that's just a statement that they made?
It is a statement. It is a statement.
Perfect. And the reason you made that statement is because you wanted to accept it. Your higher self was communicating with you by having you see that orb. And there was a part of you that doubted it. There was a part of you that said, maybe this didn't make sense. And I'm not really sure I want to even talk about it, but you did. And that was so brilliant. Now you've given yourself permission to accept this higher version of yourself that your higher self is having you see through that orb. So thank you, because now you've given so many others permission to not judge themselves when they're seeing things that are outside of your normal existence or outside of what many of you think might be normal. But there's a vast universe of which you're all part. So thank you.
Yeah, like there is a question about flying in dreams, and I was flying as if I was skiing lately. It was so fun and groovy. So he asked, I used to have a lovely dream where I could fly. I could literally intend to fly and then just go. How can I revisit this feeling and have more dreams like this?
Well, you're making our messenger very jealous because he wish you could have those dreams. He doesn't have that. You each will have something different and you'll have it at different times in your life. So you had that at a certain time because it was giving you freedom. It was giving you the feeling of expanse, you see, and that's why you were having that awareness. Now, you can't command something to come back. If it's a part of your continual evolvement, it'll come back. But we want you to appreciate the time that it did come through because that gave you the ability to feel that freedom of flying and being free. And so it could be that you're wanting to have that freedom again now, which is why you're remembering that time, you see, but you don't have to have the same experience. You just have to decide that now you're going to give yourself more freedom in the next expanse of your life. That's why it's here. And if something like that is meant to come about to facilitate that, it will. But you don't have to try to look for it. Just appreciate what you had because you opened up to something brilliant then. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. I think we're good now. Ah, there's one more thing. Can you interpret my dream about a female brown spider wanting to make a nest in my left armpit, which I removed twice?
No, we can't, but you can. And see, everything has a symbolism that's unique to you. But because that's so different and so bizarre, you've been judging it. You said this doesn't make any sense at all. Why am I having this experience? But we're saying it's nothing ever happens accidentally. It's there for a reason. And so in your internal experience of who you are and who you're becoming, we want you to ask that question. Why? And then stay open for the answer because your higher self will guide you to see that answer in some particular way. It'll either show up in your experience or it'll come in your awareness at some point. But it won't do that if you keep judging it as being weird or dumb and doesn't mean anything. We want you to accept it and just stay open to why am I experiencing this? And the new question is, what am I meant to gain? What am I meant to understand because of this? And you will see that it'll start to come through. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all so much. We're done for today, Wilhelm. You can bring Roger back if you don't have anything important
We just want to say
anymore.
thank you. We just want to say thank you to all of you because you're so wonderful. And to be here, you're doing such a wonderful service by being existing at this time. So we love you all so much.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's just a good time to be alive. There's so much going on here. My daughter heard angels singing in my new house. Yeah, kids do. Kids really do. I believe so. I've been with an Australian family for a few months, a few years ago, and the boy, when I asked him, I was curious about past lives and stuff like this and how much children will remember. And I asked him, my daughter's 31. Okay, that's also funny. Anyway, the inner child always lives, but this dude says, hey, I'm from heaven. I came from heaven. And I asked him, okay, yo, like, and what is heaven like? And he said, heaven is like a big city with no end. And whatever you wish comes true in an instant. So this is also why we're here, guys, because how boring is that to always have everything available? To think of it and it comes true. I mean, it's awesome, and I'm looking so forward to just do that. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful time. Thanks for sharing this question as well. Yeah, Roger, how you feeling? Anja, what do you think about the channeling? Let us know.
A lot was going on. Yeah, thank you, Willem. Thank you, Roger. Um, I felt the energy, like, I've been feeling it like all day, like since yesterday also.
Hmm.
And with all the questions that were coming in, it's like my higher self was also answering. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it was,
Yes.
like it's because we were all tapped into this consciousness, and
Right.
yeah, a lot was going on. So what I wanted to do is I would like to invite everyone who is watching now to really join Jarne School Community,
Mm.
Silent Power Collective, because on Thursday we have a call. I'm organizing a call about something really, really powerful. And you probably are already feeling, because otherwise you wouldn't be here, that at the like in this moment we are living in overlapping reality. So there are different realities that are overlapping,
Mm.
and we are
Mm-hmm.
living in different timelines, at the same moment. And
Yeah.
a lot of people do not see same things as you see, but you are looking at the same thing or situation or whatever. So I would really invite you to join the Silent Power Collective School Community. Jarne, please put the link below.
I
And
just placed a link in it. Yeah.
yes, and you can join the Thursday call. Everything is in a
Mm-hmm.
calendar in the group, and you can join for free. And we are going to discuss, we are going to exchange our perspectives, our perception on current realities, on current events that you are, a part of, that you are seeing, without judgment, with open hearts and without judgment. So it's going to be very, very powerful. And I would invite you all to join.
What time is it?
It's 9 p.m.
Same
CET.
time as
So
today.
it's about, yeah, like same
So for
thing
me,
as
12
today.
o'clock Pacific. Okay.
Can
Perfect.
you
So
join?
in 2 days,
Yes.
two
Yes.
days time.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So
Awesome.
can we also can invite Willem, yeah?
Yep.
So Willem can also
We
join.
can.
But
Yes.
it's gonna be really, really powerful, because I was called to create
Okay.
this space.
What time GMT? Like, I mean, basically now.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like GMT, it's like 1 hour less than
Right.
CT or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
okay, so 8 p.m. is it? So 9 p.m.
Yeah.
German time, 8 p.m. GMT.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So yeah, we do share those lives. There are if you go to Roger's YouTube, Anya's YouTube, Jana's YouTube, you will all find us. Anya's YouTube is Free Spirit, Anya Free Spirit, I think, is it? Nee, Free
Free
Spirit
Spirit
HC.
HC. Yeah, YouTube is
Free
Free
Spirit
Spirit HC.
HC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. I just type it in. Free Spirit HC is
Yeah, you
Anya's
can
account.
find it a lot of stuff
Exactly.
there, but also, yeah.
Roger Burnley, you know, and Jarne for Humanity is my personal account. But everything that I do is basically really on my school. So thanks, Anja, for pointing that out. I
Yes.
do lots of stuff for free. Really, right now, every day a meditation, 5-minute meditation that you can enjoy. So it's just all there, what I do. And Roger is here, and Roger is at rogerburnley.com. And also in our school communities, you have access to Roger privately if you wish to. So, yeah,
Yeah.
just use school and join school. Timeline overlapping. Thanks, Anja. I just gotta dive into that real quick. Guys, now is the time. Like, now is the time. Like, there's no second guessing. If you think of you're not ready yet, you are. It's an excuse. You're born ready, you're born ready, you're born ready. Now is the time. Really, it is. Do it for yourself, like to really jump in, be held by the people that love you, and we are loving you unconditionally, I promise. Like, we have your back. If you're insecure, if you need anything, we are here. We can support with all that we have, like. And yeah, it's just great time to be alive. Humanity is splitting. I'm seeing it everywhere. It is a choice that we can make right now to choose love over fear. So yeah, choose wisely. Really choose wisely.
Absolutely. And also I would invite you to check out my school community, Beautiful Badass Souls. It's a paid community, but like when you click on the link, you have about page, so you can check the video. So please watch 2 minute video,
Mm-hmm.
2 minute video, because
Mm-hmm.
it's for you.
I have to
And
do
that
I
video
place it
can
here
change
now.
your life.
I have to
Yeah,
do
that
more of that
video
too.
can change your life.
I have to do more of the school for both of you because I haven't been doing this. I'm gonna come in a lot more. I'll be start doing it too.
Yeah, I just placed Anya's school in here too, so you have mine. Please join. One already joined, man. I was up to write you a message but Roger finished channeling, so I had to stop sending you a private message. But yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it. We are on it. So join us and be with
Great.
us, and yeah, just let's rise together. One humanity, one love, one peace. So
Yes.
yeah,
I
that's
love
it.
you.
We love you.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Love you
Mm-hmm.
all. Thank you so much.
Yes. It's go time, guys. Click on the links.